Hello and welcome to Tonic Studios. I'm here today with Alison and we're back to bring you a brand new showcase. This is the Ribbon and Key gift box.
So, to share with you a ribbon and key box, let's have a look at the die set.
Nice.
This is an adorable little box. It opens up. Let's show you the box first, is it?
Shall we? Yeah, let's just show one.
Let's show you the box. What have we got? Ooh, we've got sweeties in this one. So, look, this key is just the ticket, I think.
Here we talk about dies that you're going to come back to over and over again. This key, I think, is one that you're going to use on lots of other things as
I
well.
think so. Look at the deboss on that. It is adorable. So the box opens out. So you've got a little compartment inside that will lift itself. And then the key then pops underneath the drawer. Let me get it through the other side. And holds the central compartment in place. So it's pretty much ingenious. This is another Toby design.
Of course. Anything
Has
like
to be a
this.
Toby.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's anything a little bit clever, it's usually a Toby design. So what a gorgeous box. So then when you take the key out, the box will close and you can close the box with the key again. I think it is absolutely adorable. Look at the lovely panels on the sides.
Really pretty panels on here, and you've got a couple of designs of panels.
You have.
And of course you can always reach out to your pattern paper as well if you don't want to use the decorative panels that are in the die set.
And you just lean forward.
Go with that.
You've got a beautiful flower and trellis pattern. That is so pretty.
It is.
I
really
love
like
it. I love it. And then it mirrors it on the top then. So very, very pretty box. There we are. And again, some sweets inside. Of course you have to have sweets inside.
Or you could put jewelry in, or do you know, like a nice pair of socks, I think wound up would fit nicely into
Yes, little
these.
rosebuds. That would be pretty. So now we can share with you the die set. So open it up. You've got a lovely A4 die set again. And you have all the instructions. So if you get a little bit confused as to what bit goes where, there's a full set of instructions inside. But don't worry, because I'm going to show you how to do it later on. So you've got your patterns, you've got your lovely deboss. So the top panel here is debossed beautifully again. Bless you.
Thank you.
So if you have a little look around there, gorgeous for a mirror card, satin card. If you've got a plain card, you can always put a little bit of mousse on it, just to bring that detail out, because it needs to be brought out. It is so, so pretty.
Same with the key, if you want to cut that in a plain card.
Absolutely.
And then just mousse over it.
I will show you that later. And the closure then. I think the closure is just so clever.
It is really nice.
And again, this is a box that looks as good for a man as it does for a female, I think.
That's it. So change up your colours.
You know, your beautiful papers. As opposed to, I mean, this to me is a classic man's box. What would you put in there for a man? What would you like in this box, Cam?
Put you right on the spot there.
I know, I've thrown you in.
Do I like anything that's small enough to fit in there?
Money.
Oh,
Money.
Yes, a roll.
Yeah.
A roll of money.
A nice roll of banknotes.
That would be gorgeous.
Especially as it just comes up as you open the thing.
Yes.
Very elegant. But could you fit one of those little bottles in there? Would that fit? That would be very...
Potentially, depending
Yeah,
on the
possibly,
size.
because you've got the height of that box there. So if it's like a stubby little bottle, you wouldn't get like the tall bottles. Because sometimes there's some whiskies that are quite stubby, aren't there? That's what I'm thinking. The gin bottles.
Like the little Bailey's bottles as well. I think they're quite short, aren't they?
Gin.
Yeah, potentially.
Some of the gin are quite short. So I think they would fit in. And what better than popping the sides down and raising your bottle? It kind of is giving me
old-fashioned drinks cabinet vibes as well. You know, you used to open those and they would come up, wouldn't they?
The globe.
That's the one. That's
the globe. Had to be the globe. There we are. So you can see here I've just used plain black card and just popped a little bit of mousse around the outside. And I think that gives a gorgeous effect. It gives that vintage, oldie worldy effect.
Kind of patina on there.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
But seals up gorgeously. So
many lovely samples. The design team obviously been very inspired by this.
Haven't they just?
So we were talking obviously about pattern paper. You don't have to use the designs in the set if you don't want to. Look at this beautiful pattern paper version. From me to you on there. I love that though.
We haven't even mentioned the tag. There's a couple of tags in here with different wordings on. So there's some attached to the key. So this one says love.
I like that. It's just a nice little debossed badge in the middle of that one.
Absolutely. But you're going to use that on anything.
Yeah.
Anything, your card making, anything. You've got the outer edge with the hole through for the ribbon. And then you have two different wordings.
I'm just reading that one over there. So I think it says key to your heart. I'm just reading on here.
That one is key to your heart.
Yeah.
And then we have from me to you.
Yes.
So there's the other one. Bring it back in.
You can give some jewellery to someone with that.
You could. What about an engagement ring in there?
Ooh.
I'm just thinking you're presenting it. It's popping up in front of you.
Great for 18th or 21st presents. Because obviously we all know keys are a very traditional bit of symbolism for those birthdays.
Yes. Yeah.
Very nice.
Wow.
Nice bit of jewellery in a box like that for 18th birthday.
I think so. That would be lovely. Or even, you know, if you're getting married and you get to the altar and you open the box and the rings are in there ready.
Nice.
That would be a nice idea, wouldn't it?
Oh, I feel like your bridesmaids gifts or your
Yes.
page boy gifts.
Oh, very.
Lots of options.
What are you going to do with yours?
Yeah, indeed.
That's my next question.
So we do have a couple of cards that people have made using the dies as well, which I think is a lovely idea and something that we talk about very often, don't we? You know, using your dies for more than just the boxes. So this is Ruth and she's just taken one of those side panels, put it on here 4 times, just rotating it so the middles all go together, and then just behind all that confetti in there, you've got the love sentiment.
Love. Just beautiful.
Really nice idea. I think this one as well, Christine looks like she's done a tutorial on this on how to deboss with your dies.
Nice, and she's added in a little bit of mousse on top to make it pop. So again, you know, if you are using plain card and you're thinking, it's not giving me the detail I want, just grab a bit of mousse and you'll certainly see the detail then.
And then this one, talking about that lovely key.
Oh, look
and
at
that being
this.
something that you're probably going to end up using.
And this will actually come out. So that is a nice little idea. Again, for your 18th, 21st. New home.
Yes.
New home. That would be a nice little...
Yeah, it would.
You could use the keys as little coupons. So
you could
have like slots in a card and then each key has like a little coupon.
That's a nice
That sounds
idea.
lovely. Or you know one of these...
Don't forget to tag us in that make account.
You know the gifts where you tell people you're going to make them something. You could write on here what you're going to do for them.
I think that's what Camille
Is that what you mean, is it?
Yes, yeah.
Gotcha. So it could be your breakfast in bed, I'll clean your car for a month, I'll do whatever you fancy, off to the cinema.
Be nice.
Anything. That would be a lovely, lovely prezi. I like that idea. What else have we got? We got a couple more cards, haven't we?
We have. There's a couple more of the debossing.
Look at this with a lovely bit of tulle wrapped around. That's very pretty. And we've got the deboss panel in the background. Hopefully.
And I think it's just one of these, isn't it? It's that swirly pattern on this one.
I got a feeling. Ooh, which one is it? I tell you what I think it is. I think it's this.
Yeah, it might be.
And I think Christina's matched up
The ends.
the ends. Hang on, let me take this out. They Verso dies as well. I haven't said that to you yet. I'm just trying to see.
I see.
I think it's that.
Clever.
I think she's used that and then flipped it around the other side. Oh, no, it's not that.
It must be. It must be that one, yeah, because isn't that
I
the
think
edge?
it's got to be, yeah.
There's the curved edge there.
That's right, yes. So she's used it like that, yes. And
it's
then
such
she's
a clever
flipped
idea,
it.
though, to deboss your
That
die.
way. It's a nice little touch, isn't it? And then just added a little bit of die cutting in the corner.
So if you have one of our tangerine die cutting machines, using your green embossing plate and your green embossing mat will allow you to run your dies through and get this effect on the cardstock. You may have to do a couple of practice runs to see what works best, so that it doesn't cut and just gives you that nice deboss finish.
Sometimes you may need to go a little bit thinner, depending on how thick your cardstock is. But just have a little play. But like we were saying, all these dies are Verso, so each panel doesn't have an outer edge. So you could even cut that panel directly into your card to make, you know, that floral trellis pattern. And then you could pop something behind. Could be a shaker behind.
Could be.
Could be some pattern paper. Could be some tulle. Could be anything behind it. But very, very pretty.
Lots of options. And then I like this one. So just a nice simple die cut with some moussing behind it.
So Christine has debossed again, but she's also cut a die cut to lay over the top. So she's done a moussing underneath, which doesn't have to be that accurate then, because you're going to pop the die cut over the top again.
And so it's going to hide any areas where it's, you know, slightly gone over the edge.
Exactly.
Or anything like that.
Exactly. There are always ways that if you don't get the effect you want, first of all, you can make that effect happen. It's very pretty.
Very clever. And then lots of other lovely examples of this box as well. So we've absolutely filled this one with candy canes.
This had to be candy canes, didn't it? Because look at, let me take that out. Take the key out.
A lovely
And the
candy
bottom drops down, closes up, and then your key will slot in. But that said candy canes to me. It had to be candy canes.
Of course.
So think of this for your Christmas presents as well.
That'd be nice.
You could even thread a ribbon where the key is going. You could put a ribbon through there and hang them on your tree.
Ooh, could you make it into an advent calendar then?
I think you could.
You know, we love it when we can make something into an advent calendar.
I think you could. So that is beautiful. And then we've gone quite masculine again here. And on the side, it's got the little emblem, key to your heart. I almost feel as though...
covers over the edge.
Yes. Yes, so that's only stuck on one side. I kind of feel as though this should be for St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. Yeah, all of the greens on there.
Very St. Patrick's Day. And a token for some Guinness inside, maybe.
Oh, that'd be nice. if you enjoy Guinness, anyway.
Yes. I'm not a fan of Guinness, but when I went to Dublin, I had to have a taste.
Oh, you have to. Like, we did the Guinness storeroom tour when we were there, and you get a pint as part of that. And you know, I had a sip off the top of the pint, and that was about as much as I had. But
I did drink it because I felt as though I had to.
We had to pull our own as well.
Oh, did you?
On the top, yeah. It was good fun.
Nice. Nice. So that is your die set and your instructions.
Very handy.
So the next step now is?
So Alison is now going to make one of these for you so you can see how it goes together.
Absolutely. So I've got my instructions in front of me and I've cut everything out as it says in the instructions. So my outer box, I've got 2 panels. I've cut 4 keys. This may depend on how thick your card is as well. If you're using a 300 GSM, you may only need 3 keys because it may be a little bit thick to go through the gap, but it's a little bit of trial and error. So then we have our drawer inner piece. So I've got 2 of those. Then we've got the base panel. We've got 1 of those. I have 4 of the side panels. And then I've got my lid for the top. I've also got shelf sides, which I've cut 2 of, and we've got our top panels. So I'm going to start by creating the drawer first, and that is easy to pop together. So we're going to take the 2 drawer parts, and again, as we say always, score all of your crease lines. Or rather, not score them, that's the wrong word. Reinforce your crease lines. They don't need scoring. And then this is the 2 sides of your drawer. Now I folded this so that my outside is to the outside. But thinking of it, you may want that to be the inside. You may want your nice edge to be the inside of your box. So you could flip these because you're not going to see the outside of this box at all. So I would say keep your nice panels for the inside because that is the bit you are going to see. But if you have folded them the other way, I wouldn't worry about it. So we're going to take a little bit of glue. And for this I'm using our wet glue and it's the deluxe adhesive. So glue the base first and just overlap up to the fold line. But again, because we're going to be seeing the inside of this box, I'm going to put all my tabs to the outside because I'm not going to see them. So just stick your tab to the outside. Oops. Give your glue a little bit of time as well. I am rushing this. And work your way around your box. So it's not the general way we would put a box together, but I think for this it works perfectly. Oh, come on. There we go. Next one. So again, fold your tab around. And the last one. So that is your box made, and this is going to be the inside. This is going to be the little layer that lifts up and down, which is why you're going to see the card on the inside, not the outside. Okay, so we're going to pop that to one side. Then we're going to make the outer part of the box, or the middle part rather. So if I bring this one in, so we've already done the drawer that lifts in and out. So now we're going to do this part of the box. So let's move that out the way. So we have our base and we have our 4 sides. So reinforce your score lines again. Now this time I want the better part of the card to be on the outside, because you will see this. There we are. So there's my tabs all folded. I'll do the same with these. They almost look like little cat ears. That's what they remind me of. There we go. Do the same with all of these. And the last one. So we're going to attach each of these to the base. And you've got a tab on one side, so we will attach to the tab as well. So a little bit of glue on the base tab. I like to put all my sides on first. So I'm making sure that this crease line lines up with the score line here. There we are. And just work around. So again, I can see that it's all straight there. It's this attention to detail that's going to give you the professional finish at the end. There we are, next one. So make sure you don't go over the crease line here. There we are, we're right up to the crease line. And the last one in place. So you can see it all goes together very, very easily. There we are. So now we can start bringing the sides up. So glue on the tab. I'll bring your side piece up. And give that a little press. There we go, next one. If you try and glue in order, they should be drying as you're moving around then, so you won't have to wait too long for gluing time. Next one. So even though they've all got this slit in them, you're only going to use the slit for two sides, and that's to pop your key in. And then tuck the last tab in, glue on the side, and that is your box good to go. So don't do anything with the tabs at this point, because you need to make sure your box is inside before you bring these little cat ear tabs over. So we're going to go back to the drawer now, which is all glued together. And I'm going to take some ribbon. There we are. So for this, I've got a, I think it's 9mm. Let me just check. 9mm, yes. So I'm going to pop this inside. There is a measurement on the instructions, and it says 4 inches long, 105mm. That is approximate. I would cut a little bit longer than that, just to give yourself a little bit of playing room. So I'm going to go a tiny bit longer. So we'll have a little look here. What did I say? 105, but I'm going to go to 12 centimetres ish. And we need 2 lengths of ribbon. So I'm going to take some tape. The reason I'm using tape is because ribbon is quite hard to adhere to wet glue. So I'm going to pop a piece of tape on the inside of the box, going down from the slit on both sides. You're not going to see this because you're going to cover all this up. So no worries if it's not looking very neat. Pop your ribbon in so it's central on your slit. There we are, that's better. And then thread it through the hole. There we are, and we're going to do the same with the other side. In the instructions it says just to overlap by 1 centimetre. Now I like to do a little bit more than that, so I like to take it to the bottom of the box. The reason being is because it's gonna be a manoeuvrable box. So I don't want that ribbon to be pulling out anywhere. So there are my 2 ribbons, and now I'm going to cover those. So I have 2 little covers. This die again is in your set. Let me find it. It's this one. So it's already got the little slit cut into it. And this will cover the inside of your box and your ribbon. So we'll have a bit of glue on there. There we go. Covers all your workings, so no one knows how you've made it. There we are. You could use some lovely contrasting ribbon as well here. You can be as funky as you like. And again, just to cover up the inside. So you're lining up that slit to make it all even. And that is my inside box. So we can pop this now inside. There we go. Bring these over the outside of the box. And then we can glue these cat ears in place. They make quite pretty little corners as well. I like to work around like I'm doing a windmill. And I know then that they're all glued the same way. And it keeps everything neat and tidy. Oops. That's it. And the last one. So there's your box with your ribbons. So not too difficult at all. Then we're going to make the sides. So we have 2 side panels. So these just fold all your score lines as we do with every project. And then the only bit of glue in for this is to glue the tab on the side to the curved side panel. go. Same on the other side. Take off any excess glue. So we'll repeat that now with the other side. There we go. A little bit of glue. And these then will go onto the box. There we are. So these are going to glue in place using the tab to the bottom of the box. So make sure when you're popping these on the side you've got your ribbon. Slide your box in and then just glue the tabs in place. And repeat with the other side. Oops, make sure you've got them the right way. There we are. Try and make sure that they're lined up so the tab is central, and then they will all line up on the top then. So your next bit that you're going to do, you're going to need to secure this ribbon to the top. So what I would say is make sure the ribbon, make sure the box, sorry, not the ribbon, make sure the box is to the bottom of the inner box. Close the top, line up these two ribbons and bring them over the top, and then you're going to tape them in place again. This is to ensure then that when you open the box, the ribbons pull the inner shelf up. So another little bit of tape. Okay, so make sure you've got the right one for the right side. Pop your tape off. There we go. And the same on the other side. Go for the other corner. There we are. So line your ribbons up so they are opposite each other, and then you can trim off any excess. I would rather cut it that it's a little bit too long than not long enough, because that can always be trimmed. So there's our box. If we open, it's not going to lift yet because we haven't popped the top on. Hang on, I think I've got a little bit of wet glue here. Let's just make sure it's not sticking. There we are, all lifted. So the next piece now is to pop the inside panel. So put some glue. Don't go right to the edge because there is going to be a little bit of a gap. There we go. And then just make sure this is central. So you've got the same gap on the outside all the way around. There we are. And that is our inner box done. So the only other thing I've got here, I have cut a panel. Now this is one of the side panels. Let me just show you this one. I've used one of the side layers just to cut another panel because I want to cover my tabs. Don't have to, and if your box is all the same colour then you're not really going to notice it, but because I've got two different colours I just wanted to cover them. There we go. It just neatens the edges a little bit. So the next bit now is to decorate. So let me bring in my layers. So I'm going to pop all the outer edges on first, and then I'll show you. So we've got the flower panel, really pretty. This will be lovely coloured as well. So I've cut a contrasting panel to go on the bottom. There we are, just a few dots all over. And then we can stick these together. Right, make sure you're going the same side. Once it's not exactly a square. It's a little bit of a rectangle. So you decide where you want your flower. Do you want your flower up in the top corner, or do you want it in the bottom corner? Now I've decided mine's going to be the bottom corner, so make sure you do the same on the other side. Again, I'm checking the border around the outside, making sure it's all even. So we'll pop the same one on. There we go. And just to make sure I'm going the same way, yeah. My side panel in place. So now we're going to pop the curved panels onto the other side. Again, checking that you've got a nice even outer edge. Oops, this is for the other side. There we are, I got one eye left to glue. So we'll just glue this side panel. Some tiny drops of glue. I should be using my fine detail nozzle for this. Makes life a lot easier. There we are. So then we're going to pop the other panel in place. There we are. Over to the last one. So there's our lovely little box. The next bit now we've got to do is our top panels. So we have a square that's going to sit on the top. Then we have this panel that has two score lines, or four, two on each side. And then we have some decoration. So fold the score lines. So the central two are going to be mountain folds. And then the next two are going to be valley folds. And this is where your key fits in. So you've got that little lip on the top. There we are, give that one a little push. So I would say at this point, put your layers on while it's all flat because it's easier. So I've got some layers here. So again, I've used the lovely trellis pattern. But you can mix and match your patterns. Depends what sort of day you're feeling, isn't it? Are you feeling a bit rebellious? There we go, there's my layer. So that's going to sit there. Go, and I've got another one to go the other side. Again, try and make sure that they're nice and even, so have a little look where you're popping them. So I'm looking at the top here and the bottom here and also the side here. So I've got a little bit more on this side. Oops. I'm going to move that slightly. There we go. So that's pretty much even now. Maybe up a little bit. So this will glue to your rectangle panel. So pop your glue. Don't put any glue in that central panel. Just around the outside. And this glues up to the edge and fits perfectly. And do the same the other side, push it in so it fits perfectly to the edge, and then press the central panel down. So you can see there you've got a little opening going through. There we go. So that is going to sit on the top of the box. So there's one. Oh, I haven't put the other panel on. Let's glue this. So you can decide which way you want these panels to go. So they could go that way, where you've got an oval in the centre, or they can go that way, where they meet in the centre. Up to you how you want to put them on. So the next bit is another bit of glue, and just glue these panels in position. And these all hold the ribbon in place and hide all your workings as well. There we go. Oops, I've got a little bit of glue leaked for there. Let's clear that up. There we are, we're all lined up, all ready. So I have got a little bit of decoration to go on the sides. Don't have to put it, it's entirely up to you. So again, I've used the trellis panel and I've used the contrasting card this time. So a spearmint I've used. There we go. So this is going to sit just under the slit but there. So make sure it's central and it's nice and straight. So there's one done, and we'll pop the other one on. There we go. So our box is nearly done. So we've got our key. So I've used a plain white card here. And I'm going to glue 2 of these together. Look at the ones you've got your better emboss on, I would say. And keep them to the outside. This one is a little bit flatter. Sometimes it depends where you've positioned your die on your plate. To the outside, you're going to get a better deboss pattern. If you're going to leave it in the middle, you're going to get a weaker pattern. So keep it to the outer edges. There we are. Squeeze those 2 together. And then I'm going to do the same with the other one. A little bit of glue around the outside. And there we are. Just lay them on top of each other so everything is nice and even. And then these will go back to back then. So you've got a lovely mirrored image. There we are, just a little bit of glue around the edges, and then you glue all your keys together. So I would say pop this to one side just to make sure. I would put something heavy on it actually, just to make sure that it's flat and it will fit perfectly then through your lock. But the other thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to pop a little bit of mousse on here just to bring out a little bit of detail. So I've got a nice clean sponge. I'm not going to put lots, so I've got a little bit of mousse on the bottom there, and that's all I'm going to need. So I'm going to go around the edges just to add that little bit of sheen and a little bit of detail. There we go. And I want to bring out the detail. Just press lightly over the top. I'm going to have a little bit more mousse, I think. There we go. So just by pressing lightly, it is just picking up the high spots of the deboss area. That is so pretty. I'm hoping you can see the sheen there. And then you can do the same on the other side then. Again, round the outside first. And then lightly then across the middle. And over the top of the key. There we go. So that is my key. You put as little or as much as you want. But I think that's enough for me today. Then I've got the tag, and this says from me to you. So I'm not going to stick them together. I'm going to leave them loose, but I'm going to tie with a little bit of ribbon. So this is 3mm ribbon that matches the 9mm I used earlier. So I'm going to pop this through the tags, just by looping it through, and then I can tie this onto my key. So decide how long you want the tag to be, and then tie a little knot at the other end. Make sure that they're all the same length. Tie another little knot and then trim your ends. So you have your little tag, you have your key Your key then will sit into your box. There we are. And that is your ribbon and key box all finished.
Thank you so much, Al, for showing us how that goes together.
That's okay.
So this is available for you now on our website. Don't forget, if you are a TCK member, you do get your 10% discount code. So you can get that on our website with that lovely discount on your purchase. It's so lovely, isn't it?
It's lovely. You know, this is one of those kinetic things that you were just going to play with.
Exactly, which is why it's very important to make sure your ribbon is stuck nice and firmly.
Absolutely. Just going to show you. This is the measurement that it says in your instructions. If you want your box to go right to the bottom, then I would say you need a little bit longer than the instructions say.
Got you.
But that's entirely up to you. How I would measure that then, I would measure from the bottom, then I would lift this up to the top and then stick it to the top here.
Got you.
If you want a longer one.
There you go, top tip.
There we are. Full of top tips, isn't we?
So you can pay in instalments on our website using ShopPay, ClearPay, PayPal or Afterpay in the US. Don't forget, as always, tag us in your makes. We'd love to see you creating this lovely box. So you've got our official Facebook group, the Tonic Studios official Facebook group over on Facebook, or we are at Tonic Studios across social media, or you can use hashtag #ShowTonic to show us what you've been making as well. Don't forget to give the video a like and make sure you are subscribed to our channel and hit the notification bell. Ding! So you don't miss any time we post a new video for you. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you again very soon.
Happy crafting!